Hello there. I'm doing a video for a while. I had a few things on my mind that I thought I'd drop onto. I'm a bit fucking, I've gone a bit snotty. I'm just cooking, middle of cooking. I'm making jack of potatoes, mate. But I discovered a little technique to doing potatoes years ago, and it makes them so much nicer. I remember growing up, my mum, bless her, she's Irish, grew up in like Dublin, very poor, so everything was really basic, really fucking bland, all the food. And then I learned this little technique fucking years ago, from an old girlfriend actually, where I coat the skin of the potatoes with like flavours and stuff, and it just makes them immense. Yeah, and what I do, I lay the foil out, and I drizzle some olive oil on it, and I add like sea salt, turmeric. I put turmeric on pretty much everything. It's really good for you. It's fucking anti-inflammatory, lowers blood pressure. I think most people know the benefits by now. Everyone fucking knows, but not a lot of people know that the active ingredient in turmeric is only activated when paired up with black pepper. There's an ingredient in that activates the ingredient in turmeric. So I put loads of black pepper, and fucking it always makes me sneeze, man. But yeah, you should try that if you're doing potatoes, because it makes them delish. And also, you add in turmeric and stuff, which is good for you. And I have like tuna and salad and stuff with them. It's a good solid meal, nice and easy to do. Yeah, just smashing them, and I've just pretty much not long ago woken up. I'm still on the night shift, and I'm fucking struggling lately getting to sleep. So like, I finish at 6 AM. Last night I finished at 2. I did like half shift and then went to the gym. Did like a 3-hour session and then came back. Yeah, I needed it because I've been not training consistently. And like, that's another thing as well that I see a lot. People always say, they say about motivation. Motivation is shit. It's discipline and consistency that'll get you to where you want to be, and that's definitely true. I think a lot of people have got into like watching motivational videos, and I'll do it too as well when I'll try and get hyped up. But yeah, you've got to be disciplined and consistent in what you do. That's the key, being consistent, and like gradually, building up your numbers and stuff, rather than just trying to dash at it all the time. And that's a difficult thing for me. It's actually like the opposite. I've had to sort of get used to training long term without consistency, because of the nature of my disability. Consistency's never been an issue for me, and discipline. I used to do like ultra running and stuff like that, and I'd be out running every single day, no fail. When I had 2 legs, obviously. I'd run in the morning first thing, go to work, 14-hour shifts, and then run home, and then maybe go to the gym as well, and then on the weekend I'd do tons of miles. So consistency never really bothered me, but I can't be consistent anymore, and it really hamstrings your training, because the nature of a prosthetic and a residual limb, the stump, it's always changing. It's always in flux, and sometimes I cannot train the way I want. Like at the minute, because this prosthetic is not fitting, so I'm in a hell of a lot of pain. The end of the stump's just purple again. So I'm going to get sized up for for a spare leg in a couple of days. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a new one. And it's like, I get the new one, and normally that's a nightmare to use for a while. Then I sort of get used to it. I have a period where yeah, everything's working nice, it's awesome, and I can get back to my training regular, follow a program, and then it starts to not fit, and it's a nightmare. Like at the minute, like I say, I can't squat at all. I was trying to use the leg press last week, and just because it don't fit at all, it's like a razor blade in the back of my knee when I come down. And I don't mind that at the time when I'm doing the training, but then the next day, the next week, I'm in agony, and it stops me from doing other stuff. So yeah, for me, the challenge is slightly different. It's having to work around inconsistency and try and get stuff in, and it's real tough. You always, like, you know, you get that sweet spot where the leg fits right, and you can follow the program. That's what people said to me before recently. I sort of bumped up my deadlift numbers, and they're like, you've been stuck at like 260 for like a year on the deadlift kilos, and then all of a sudden you've jumped up to 280. How is that possible? And it's because I've been putting the work in, like the assistance work and stuff like that, is how that when the leg starts to fit again and it works again, boom, I'm ready. I've built up that base of strength, or some of it, that I can make that progress. But then when the leg's not fitting, I just can't deadlift properly, and I'm getting to that point. I deadlifted last night, and I wanted to go up to high numbers, but just the leg just is so badly fitting, I just can't get into the right position. And I put 260 on the bar. I was going to rep that out, which I've done before, and it was just so difficult, so painful. Couldn't get into the right position, putting my back in a bad position, and I knew that I had to back off and not push it, or I'd end up fucking hurting myself. And it's frustrating. It's always like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and you end up plateaued at a weight for ages, waiting for the legs to fit and find that sweet spot, and then just make the most of it. But that's just the way I have to do it. You know, fucking hell, no good bleating about it. You get on with it. But yeah, that's just the explanation for that. I noticed some of the lads in the club noticed, and like, fucking hell, we haven't seen you put up a PR on the deadlift for ages, and then all of a sudden you put up 2 in a couple of weeks, and it was just because I hit that sweet spot on the leg. And the other thing I wanted to say was I bumped into someone the other night. It was a couple of weeks ago now. Me and the lads went out and did like a Samhain ritual in the woods. Every year, like, Samhain's quite important to us, or Halloween as most people call it. It's always just had significance for us. It was the club I'm with. The first night I met the club and went out and spent the night was on Samhain. So yeah, it's always held a lot of significance for me. So we went out, did that, and then afterwards, because we didn't stay out all night, just, you know, sometimes it's difficult to arrange that. People have got kids and things. So we went out, did our ritual, and then headed back into the town. We went for a beer. And I bumped into someone who follows and stuff, and is a supporter. Really good lad. Musician, cool dude. And he was saying, you know, he's put on some weight and stuff that he doesn't want. And he wants to try and to strip that off, and I was trying to give him advice, but I mean, we're both full of beer, so, you know, these things don't really fucking land. So I thought I'd do a little video and just some advice that I've seen elsewhere, friends of mine have put up that have made incredible achievements in sort of fitness and weightlifting and martial arts and sports and all sorts of stuff. And it's just patterns that I've seen that a lot of people, successful people, follow. So, you know, that's the way to learn these things, I think. But yeah, and the thing that came to mind to me was writing stuff down. It's very powerful. If you've got a goal and you really want to achieve it, just the act of writing it down, it almost makes a contact with your subconscious. It's the same way in ritual when we write sigils and make symbols and the use of runes and things like this. yeah, it sets it in your subconscious. And I mean, you can do it to different levels. Just the act of writing it down itself, it's that alchemy between thought and intention, and actually making it physical. Once you've made those marks on the paper, you've made that thing physical. You've created something, and there's a commitment there. You know, it's. I mean, look, in a much more intense way of looking at it, it's like, you know, when you create something, when you create life, when you bring your children into the world, think of that commitment that people feel then. And it's on a lesser scale, but it's still the same. When we create something, we feel almost indebted to its existence. So it can be a powerful tool to manipulate the subconscious and to achieve the goal that we want. And yeah, I mean, you can just write it down in a book, but also if you're really committed and you're willing to put the time and you're willing to sort of, you know, stay on your own back, you can write it down and put it up somewhere where it's visible, so you see it every day. So there's no excuse, there's no hiding from the commitment you've made to yourself. And yeah, it's a powerful tool, and I've seen it work, and I've used it myself. That's just something worth trying, I'd say, you know, something worth having a bash at, seeing if it works for you, and it should do. I mean, fucking hell, people have been using that technique for thousands of years. So, yeah, that's just a little tip. Yeah, say, I don't know, you could say, like, stand on the scales, look where you're at, and then go, right, this is where I want to be, and write that down, and pin it up somewhere. Because, like, it's easy to go, oh, I want to, but as soon as that book comes out of your mouth, you're fucking yourself. Just fucking write it down. Just write it down, pin it up, and then you've committed that alchemy. You've committed to that goal. And it's a powerful thing, you know. I'll go on about it a lot, but it's true. It's about harnessing the subconscious, and you get that cliched thing where we only use whatever, you hear different percentiles of how much of your brain power you use, and I don't know how true it is, but we definitely don't use all of it. So there's a lot of, you know, you'd say dormant brain, but it's not dormant, it's up to summer, or it wouldn't be there, but it would atrophy and die away. So it's doing something. So if you can harness that and feed into that what you want out of that, then, you know, you can achieve amazing things. But yeah, that's my little tip for the fucking day. Hope you're all good. Back for another one soon.